sport in 2010 was really seeking to have some type of an edge from a supplement-based perspective. And because of my background throughout the Olympic career, I had understood that the mental capacity, the mental training, and the brain really was the sole most important asset in my entire career, my 15-year-long career. And so, I had been experimenting with different compounds and basically my own little mini chemist in my house. And if you went into my house, you'd see it looks literally like a pharmacy. I have every single compounding from all these different pharmacies. I have different types of ingredients. And, for about 3.5 to 4 years, I was experimenting on trying to find what the world's greatest blend of nootropics was. I've got tons of experience in the nutraceutical space just because of my own personal background in the Olympic world. A lot of people don't know this, but as an Olympic athlete, when you're in the drug testing pool, you're drug tested 24/7, 365 days a year, literally. And any type of foreign substance that you put into your body, you are solely responsible for. So regardless of, if I'm taking something like vitamin C from the local store, if that was had cross-contamination of like an ephedra product, and my drug test came back positive, I was solely responsible for that, even though my only supplement that I was taking was vitamin C. So in creating this, before we had ever decided to sell one bottle, it was really a commitment from me and from Rod and the rest of the team to really say, look, how do we produce the world's greatest, most efficacious product to give people who are ages 18 to 80 the greatest chance of success in whatever type of atmosphere, career path, or if they saw Allysian Sciences as really a business that they want to take on. How do we make sure that they hold within their hands, from a nutrition perspective, all of their cylinders are firing, right? You want to give yourself the best possible chance of success. And so we provided those tools in a very easy to consume program, which, obviously our Genesis and our Mastermind and the other components of all of our different supplements. But, this company, and I'll let these ladies really speak more about the quality of the supplements. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the vision of what Allysian really, really, truly means. So, when I talk to you about when we first started this company, Rod and I had always known, and at the time, you got to realize Rod and I were traveling every 40 days all over Asia for our existing businesses, right? And so at the time, we were running about 7 different businesses. I was having a hard time. I'm sure you've been in the same position where you're just having a hard time getting all this information in your brain and using it a week, 2 weeks later, right? And so sometimes I had to review a business opportunity or a business sheet, and I had to learn that, digest that information, and then present it to a group of either it was investment bankers, a hedge fund, other partners, or I was speaking to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people in an audience. I needed to know that information on that sheet of paper or that book within a week, sometimes within 2 days. And I was noticing, because 7 different companies, I was having a really difficult time juggling all that type of information. I was having data overload, right? I always had like the newest upgraded car, I always had the newest upgraded TV, always had the newest upgraded phone, but the one thing that time and time again I was kind of neglecting was really my brain. And that's the single most important processor, regardless of any genetic, gifts that you've been given as an athlete. The brain and my mental capacity towards sport was single-handedly really my edge. And so I knew that going into creating this product. We understood that we were really seeking something together, Rod and I, that when we go back on stage together and we speak to a large group of audience, we wanted to have some commonality that we also shared, a passion that we believed in from a really core fundamental value, and that really was that we were high-performing individuals. And it really grew beyond that, right? So you look at someone who's perhaps 18 years old, they're getting ready to go into their first year as a freshman in college, and they want to make sure that they stay as sharp as possible, so that when they go, they can digest that information, they can analyze all the data that they're given. And when they exit college, when they exit university, or they just want to go on to be their own personal entrepreneur, right? Whether you're 18, 24, 50, 60, 70 years old, the person who's 85 years old may not be interested in having a true entrepreneurial spirit. Their main goal and their main focus in their life and the qualities that they really hold dear to their heart, or perhaps they just want to have a great conversation with their grandkids, right? the brain space and every single data that we've been reading and we've been seeing, especially in North America, is showing that people are really valuing what their cognitive functioning is all about and the quality of life that they're going to have when they grow older. So protecting your brain is obviously a huge component of what we believe in, but really we encompass all these different elements, right? We want to make sure people, whether they are in great shape or not, you got to make sure your brain is in healthy working order. And that's really the number one focal point amongst all North American people and really all over the globe. So when Rod spoke about we're going global, I mean, we really, this company, although we're officially launching in March, this is still very, very pre-launch stage. We're building this up, this massive snowball that's just been building, we're gaining momentum. So we're really at the ground floor still of this massive movement. First to market, very unique, disruptive technology from what we're using in our app platform and also from a nutraceutical perspective. But beyond that, we're building a movement and culture of like-minded people who simply want to be better versions of themselves. Now that's whether you want to be a better version of yourself in the gym, at home, with friends, in business. There's always room for incremental percentages of increase of improvement. And you know, for someone like myself who spent 15 years of my life trying to shave off 1,000th of a second per lap, which is like literally like a hair, like a human hair. You know, that's the difference in terms of what we're really trying to change here. And so I want to see massive improvements in people. I love it when people tell me, you know what, we've been using your product, I've been using your program, you've motivated me to change my life towards a positive direction. And that's really, when you talk about the core values of what this company stands for, it's really believing in human beings and believing in the capability and the potential of what people really have within them already. And we're trying to provide you with the proper tools, even if it's not coming from me, if it's coming from a previous leader or a celebrity or an actor or an athlete or a businessman who's had massive success. Everyone has these unique tools that perhaps you've used in the past that's gotten you into the zone where you performed at a very high level. And that could be just simply sitting down and having a great conversation with a friend you've not seen for a long time, and 2 hours goes by. You've now been diverged into this incredible realm of what we call the zone, and we want people to be in that zone all the time. So what does Allysian Sciences really, really care about? Well, first and foremost, like I said, we care about people. We care about the dynamics of person-to-person relationship. We're committed to providing the highest level of performance and education that you can possibly imagine, and we're really here to optimize your lifestyle, right? Everyone here, have you guys heard of the 10,000 hour rule? Right? You guys spend 10,000 hours, it makes you be an expert. I love Malcolm Gladwell. I've spoke with him on stage before, but in my head, I never really wanted to go through 10,000 hours of anything. Right? I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this in 10 minutes? Right? That's just like how, you know, and I think all of us have become accustomed to this overall, I mean, look, you know, our attention spans now are so small because we're distracted by so many different elements in our life. You know, text messages, all these social networks, what we have to do during the day, food, working out, what we look like, all these different elements distract us from, I guess, being very present. And so, you know, if I can't have minimal input but maximal output, it was really uninteresting to me. And that's really kind of what biohacking and what Allysian Sciences is all about, is trying to provide people, make sure, look, you got to work hard, but we want you to be efficient and effective at the same time. But more importantly, how do we really make sure this ripple effect really resonates with people far beyond just the Richmond community, just beyond the Vancouver community, and trying to get people in touch with those who are in China, who are in India, who are in Europe, who are all over the world, and kind of create a like-minded community of people who are truly committed towards being better versions of themselves. And Rod doesn't. He's always very, very humble. He doesn't speak too much about his previous accomplishments and his skills. His skill set. But talk about a guy who has such a great belief in his fundamentals, who understands the human psyche. I don't know where he learned some of this stuff, to be completely honest with you. But just when you have a team like this here at Allysian, who's really truly committed towards giving everyone who comes through these doors and who's interested in really building a true business and a sense of freedom for themselves, not only financially, but really mentally, physically, making sure when they walk, they stand taller than ever. They have that confidence internally. And everyone in here has probably had that. Maybe it's in short spurts, maybe just for 10 minutes, maybe for when you just have one great workout at the gym, or you just, you know, whatever avenue you're talking about. We want to replicate these moments in your life so that, you know, you create these emotional awareness types of being where you can recall upon that. And those things create memories. We want to create massive memories and experiences in everybody here. You know, we've got, listen, we spent about a month in Asia, and, you know, we're engaging some of our partners, some other top distributors there, making sure that we are creating this momentum. You know, we're talking about India, Malaysia, Singapore, Bangkok, Hong Kong, the Philippines. You know, we have, yeah. I tell you, this is such an incredible, fun dream, and one that we, you know, I always say we as a company, but this team really collectively gives so much of their heart, passion, and desire towards this company, and we're growing so fast. I mean, I can't tell you the type of individuals and performers and experts who are coming on board that we haven't shown you yet, and all these things are really coming into play in 2016. So for those of you who are not in this business yet or trying to learn more, I guess know this. Allysian Sciences and what we are at Allysian here is we really are a very unique, innovative, disruptive company. We're committed towards providing cutting-edge R&D on the nutraceutical side and making sure people have the fastest route towards success using these principles that we've seen across the board, whether you're an athlete, businessman, or whatever, okay? And we want to provide these as a very easy to digest informational tools. So I'm happy to be here. You know, Lisa, this is, and Deb, you know, you guys have been obviously working very, very hard, and our staff and our team and our coworkers here at Allysian are, you know, we've created something that we believe is really going to be the next great company in terms of building and growth. And you know, 2016 is really, really where we really start. So, you know, we still have a couple weeks left here in this, you know, in this month, and I'm hungry. I got to tell you, I get super happy, and sleep has been minimal here, and obviously that's not the best thing for your brain, but you know, we're committed, and it's something that we really truly believe in. And you know, I want to share this story with you. You know, I was in Japan with I went to go visit my grandma, and my grandma was about 97 years old, and you know, I go see her usually every year, but I missed seeing her last year, and so it was the first time I saw her in about 2 years. And I was sitting down with my grandma, and she's kind of, you know, my grandma's got kind of a lot of energy, even though she's not very physically mobile, though she can walk around a bit. But mentally, she's so sharp, and she's so on top of it. And I'm asking her, I was like, Grandma, like, how do you, like, am I gonna have this ability when I turn 97? Like, this is fantastic, you know? And she told me something that was very, very interesting. She goes, you know what? She goes, I learned very young that if I don't use my brain every day in some capacity, it slowly starts to die, right? And that's really true. You got to use it or you lose it. And so we look, our product lineup is the best, hands down. That's, to me, that's a second afterthought. We already know that. We're committed to that. We will always provide the greatest, latest, and most proven supplements in the world, okay? Always. That's a standard for us. That's not even something that we're not coming out of the gate and saying, oh, we got something great, everybody else. This to us is this afterthought. What we really understand was that we know the brain, and we're learning every single day. Every single time